able to get one of the particular, people that work directly with this to be here, but he's kind of pitch hitting, and he's kind of a, all position kind of fielder person here. So. Utility, yeah. That's what I was trying to get to the baseball metaphor there. Anyway.
I actually have a baseball reference on my slide.
All right. So let's thank Brian.
Down a bunch of announcements here before I get started. And also, who's our cameraman? So I don't know if we have permission to post this. We should definitely record it. And all right. So yes. So I actually, before working on the Chrome team, I used to work on the Wave team. So I probably have to say a word about Wave. It's definitely sad that Wave's going away, but all that code is going to be out there. And like Van said, hopefully this technology will take off still. And I hope some of you guys pick up all that great code that's going to be put out there. So look for that. For the campout, so I will just mention some of the talks that we have going on. So we have a really nice assortment of Google speakers as well as non-Google speakers. We're still working on a few more speakers, but as of now, we're going to have sessions about HTML5. So how many of you were here for the last GTUG for Seth's talk? So we're going to do something along those lines. Paul Irish will give a talk on HTML5. We're going to do a talk on the Chrome Web Store. So initially, we kind of wanted to sync up this GTUG campout with the launch of the Chrome Web Store. We're not going to get them quite synced up, but eventually, these apps that you build at the campout next week, you'll be able to put into the, hopefully in the near future, into the Chrome Web Store. So we're going to have a talk about the Web Store. We are going to have a talk about developing for mobile devices, which should be really interesting. I think it's an area that's been kind of neglected, and you can do great things on mobile devices now. So we want to talk about developing web apps for mobile. And then we are going to have Steve Suter give a talk about making your apps fast. And then, like I said, we'll probably have a couple of additional surprise sessions as well. So that should be really good. All right. So I probably should have plugged in here. So for those of you in the back, I'm going to be showing most of my talk is live coding. There's a lot of small text in there, so you might want to move forward. But also, I can zoom in and stuff if you can't see stuff, so just let me know. So before I get started here, I want to show you something cool. So you've probably seen this, the blue version of Chrome. It's Chromium. Can you guys hear me okay, by the way? Yes?
You hold the mic. The mic's close, yeah.
All right. That good?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Can the screen be turned off?
I don't know, Steph, can we turn the second screen on? All right, so you've seen the blue version of Chrome, which is Chromium. You've seen the Google version of Chrome. But have you seen the yellow version of Google Chrome? So this is something we just put out. So we have this Canary channel for Google Chrome now. This will give you the absolute latest successful build of Chrome. And you can subscribe to this by going to blog.chromium.org. I think either our last or our second to last blog post was about how you can subscribe to this channel. So I'm actually going to be doing my whole talk off of this. Will be as risky as possible here.
Does it install like the different profiles or anything?
Yes. So you can actually, before you could have up to 2 Chrome profiles if you count Chromium as Chrome running. You could have a version of Chromium and Google Chrome. You can now have Chromium, Google Chrome, and this Canary build. So you can have 3 at the same time.
Is it available for Linux?
Oh, sorry. So currently it is Windows only. Yes. Sorry. I should have mentioned that. Yes, I'm sorry. In our blog post it says currently it's Windows only, so I assume that soon it will be in other platforms too. And if you want to get these slides, like I said, it's going to be mostly live demos and live codes, but if for some reason you want to see these slides, they're at jump.mp/cr-dev-tools, CR as in Chromium. Yes, let me type it into this browser window. And
I'll add it as a comment to the meetup.
So I just type it in there. Yep. Okay, cool. I'm going to zoom in. Okay, sweet. Okay, so like Dan said, my name's Brian. I work on the Google Chrome team.
Can you repeat that again? I think you mentioned j.emp.cr-dev.
Yes, not .com, no .com.
Okay.
j.mp/cr-dev-tools.
Perfect. Thank you.
Sure. So I currently work on extensions, as well as I'm working on the upcoming launch of the web store. So like Van said, I don't work directly on DevTools. Our DevTools team is all based in Europe. But I would say aside from Gmail, the DevTools are the thing that I use most frequently on a day-to-day basis. And the reason being is that my job, again, aside from the answering email part, is mostly consists of writing and especially debugging JavaScript. And I do that all pretty much with Chrome's DevTools. Even writing JavaScript I do with the DevTools. I sort of use it as a mini IDE, and I'll show you what that looks like in a few slides down the line. So the things that I'll start by covering, I'm going to start with an intro to what the DevTools are, and I'll talk a little bit about the timeline of how we got to where they are today. And so these things are called developer tools. So it's not just a single tool; it's a collection of tools. And I'll profile each of the tools within the toolkit for you, so you get an idea of what you can do with each of them. After that, I'm going to do some more deeper dive type material. So I've picked 3 use cases to look at more carefully. The first will be debugging JavaScript. So a pretty common thing that you're going to be that you do with the DevTools. Next, I'll talk about prototyping pages. So this is the part that I was mentioning with actually using the DevTools as sort of an IDE. And I'll take a look at how I do this in my job on the extension team. And then finally, I'll wrap up with a look at how you can use the DevTools to optimize performance. And if this is a topic that you're interested in, like I said, we're going to have a talk on just this topic at the camp out next week. So that should be quite interesting. And then we should have, I'm assuming, a bunch of time at the end to do some Q&A. Here's my baseball reference. We're going to do a little twist on the Q&A. I'll explain when we get to the end of this talk. All right, so let's start by answering the question of what the Google Chrome developer tools are. So the sort of SAT answer to the question is the DevTools are to Google Chrome as Firebug is to Firefox. So how many of you out there are using Firebug on a regular basis? Yeah, so that's almost everyone. How about how many of you are using the Google Chrome developer tools on a regular basis? All right, so probably about half that. So we on the Google Chrome team, I think pretty much universally think that Firebug is this amazing tool. It's really, if you think about it, revolutionized the way that us front-end developers do our job. You know, we're not having to litter our code with alert calls anymore. We can actually do some real debugging. So our goal with the Chrome developer tools is to bring that same sort of power, at least that same level of power, to Google Chrome. Now, that being said, the DevTools are not a Firebug port, and they're not intended to be feature-by-feature compatible. So everything that is in Firebug we haven't brought over to Google Chrome, and likewise, there's things that we've put in the Chrome developer tools that are not in Firebug, and I'll touch on some of those things as I start going through the actual tool. So what the DevTools are they're a combination of the WebKit web inspector, which ships with WebKit distributions.